Well, Coach, you probably weren't happy with the start of the second half, but they cut it down to one. I mean, did your team show you something in being able in punching back and kind of getting back on top and getting control?
I think, obviously the foul trouble hurt us, but, the whole time when we were up, I mean, I felt they would make a push. I really did, but I also felt at the start of the second half we came out like it was just going to be a shooting contest, and we didn't run very good offense, which allowed them to get settled in, and we didn't play very good defense either there at the start of the second half. But I think you got to give them credit. I've got the utmost respect for Jerry Stackhouse and the way he does things. He does them the right way, and I've watched him improve guys. And every game we've played them, it's been a battle. And at no point in time did I ever feel like we were going to get away from them, really get away from them. But at the end, when we made a push, and you know what? We felt at some point in time that they would go to trying to back our guards down, and which they did. But again, you got to give them credit. And then on offense, I thought we got a little bit impatient. Didn't move the ball tonight as well as we had been doing it and playing with the speed. And when we were able to get the game under control there at the end, we were playing with speed and moving the ball and playing with a type of passion that we need to play with on both ends.
Rick, just with Vandy's three-point success, do you think that was them getting hot, or you all maybe not doing something defensively from the three-point line?
Well, first of all, we believe they can really shoot the ball as well as anybody we play. And if you're not there, and if you're not playing defense with a on edge, where you're giving them, they don't need much room, and they really are. They run terrific offense. They really do, and they're disciplined. They know what they're looking for. When Coach Stackhouse calls something, they execute it, and they don't need much daylight. And what they do, and they do it well. Whether they early in the game might be missing those shots, they're not going to get away from what they do. But I just felt like we were a step slow tonight. A couple different guys, and it's been a tough grind right through here, and it's not going to get any easier. But every night you're going to have to play for 40 minutes, and you get leads and you start throwing lifelines out there, people are going to catch them and take advantage of it, and they will. I can assure you that, because they're not going to go away on anybody. And you go back and look, there hasn't been a game in the last month that they haven't been in and haven't had a chance to win, and they're as improved as any team in our league this year.
Rick, it seemed like you got a more assertive version of John at a few points today. What did you like about what he did?
Well, again, he did do a good job. As we've talked about, we're trying to get him moving around and getting him doing different things. And a couple of times we tried to get it to him inside. The second call we shouldn't have called. I mean, we didn't want to go back to that twice. But Zakai felt like that's what he felt at that point in time, which is fine. I mean, those guys, you have to trust them. But John I do think he's moving much, much better. I really do. I think he's getting himself more active on offense and defensively. He knows what we need to get done. It's just a matter of him doing it night in and night out.
Get a mic. Wait for a mic.
Rick, you've been doing this a while. Which do you appreciate more, winning 7 straight league games or beating the same team? I mean, you've talked about Vandy and how much they've improved. That's 10 straight over Vandy.
Well, that is the fact that, I think we've been at it here longer. I mean, I can only tell you, I can't even begin to tell you how much respect I have for Jerry Stackhouse and what he's done. He came into a tough situation where he had to establish, like any coach coming in, but he knew what he wanted to do. He's gone about doing it his way, and when we were over there, it was a tough night because they weren't allowed to have their students. But honestly, you said I've been doing it a long time. I want to win games, and I want to win the next one up and the next one. I don't think about things like that because I think you can go in runs like that, and then I can just tell you, as long as he's there, they're going to keep getting better, and they're going to contend. And they are now. I mean, I went back and watched a lot of their games. They've been right there, and he hasn't had his whole team all year either. And once he gets them all back in there and can get them together, this next month, I mean, I think we'll see a lot from him as he continues to do what he's doing. But again, I just think about the games that's up next, and I'm not much into I mean, do you say we've won? I haven't even thought about that. I just know that you can't live in the past. You got to put it behind you. We'll scrub it out, but we've got to get ready for the next one, because I thought we started out the regular season with as tough a schedule as anybody. When you look at the way the season was picked to be with the preseason favorites, but looking at it now coming down the stretch, I'm not sure anybody has a more difficult schedule than us because of the way the year's played out to this point. That's why we can't get caught up in anything other than preparing for the next game.
Ryan, then Grant, and Karthik.
What does it say about Josiah's confidence for him to miss 12 shots tonight and keep hunting them and then hit those 4 big free throws late?
Well, he does. I mean, I think last week, Rob, one of you guys, or Mike, one of you guys asked me about he and Santi playing a lot of minutes. Joe's played a lot of minutes, and we got back late the other night from Mississippi State, and I was really concerned about our guys because we talked about their leadership, and I do think it showed up for us again tonight when we were in a battle. We were fighting for our lives there at the end, and but Joe's logged a lot of minutes, and he's a guy that allows us to do a lot on the defensive end. We got to get Brandon to that point to where he can do it. We got to get Jonas, every one of them, because playing against Vandy, they present a lot of problems. If you're not in a position, you can do some switching. They can. It's a nightmare. But we just Joe is. We've got the utmost confidence in him, and he's going to take good shots. And again, we talked about it even when he wasn't shooting well. We think every time it leaves his hand, it's going to go in.
Do you like Kennedy's response late in the game after not having obviously his most productive night?
Yeah, I thought he played a little tired tonight, or he wasn't pushing the ball the way we needed him to. He wasn't bringing the speed there at the end. He showed the burst that we need him to play with. We need that from him, and we need it on both ends. But at the end, the guards were the ones that made the big plays for us down the stretch.
He just asked my question. Can I come back later with another one?
Sure. Cool. Who else did I miss? Wes, did you have one earlier?
Rick, how tough does Scotty Pippen make defense for guys? I mean, just the amount of things that he has in his game and the way that he can work things seems like it's a lot to deal with.
Well, I think it's a real credit to him how much he's improved his game since he's been there, but I also think it's a real credit to the Vanderbilt coaching staff because they put him in some situations. They were doing some good stuff, trying to get us to switch so they could get who they wanted on the defensive end to back down there. And, when a guy can hold the ball that long and he's clever, they get him playing off triple threat and some ball screens where he's able, if you don't close the gap, he's going to split it. But they had some good motion tonight that was really getting us distorted a little bit in our ball screen coverage. And, again, that goes back to Coach Stackhouse and his staff. I mean, they create some real dilemmas for you. But the fact that Scotty Pippen has continued to get better, I have great respect for guys that get better day after day, game after game, and year after year, and certainly they have put him in a great position to be successful with the way the different things they allow him to do and have him do.
Ryan, then Rob.
Those guards have been in foul trouble pretty consistently the last few games. How do you balance having them play with aggression and kind of not picking up
Well,
fouls?
there's some of them we can't foul. I mean, we talk to them all the time. You can never go forward. I mean, Kennedy's got a 6'7" wingspan. He's got to learn how to use it vertically. I mean, referees, it's very difficult when you go up and come down, and I mean, it's whether there's contact or not, it looks like a foul, and more times than not, it is a foul, and that's playing smart. Santi's fourth foul, he can't do that. I mean, I know he's playing hard and aggressive. I mean, his presence in the game means more than that still at that point in time, and so we've got to get a little bit smarter in knowing. Again, there's a fine line between being aggressive and being overly aggressive or being careless. And sometimes we have guys that are, Kennedy gets himself in trouble, and Zakai and Brandon, because they're careless sometimes. They're almost like they are still playing high school basketball where they're giving up position for a steal. And they've played enough now to know that at this level you get burnt, whether it's with a foul or giving them numbers. And so we need to definitely clean that up.
Coach, you guys haven't lost an SEC game where you out-rebounded the opponent. You took it to Vandy tonight. But you don't really have, none of your bigs are great rebounders. So how much do you stress to the team that everybody's got to chip in, everybody has to do it?
Well, as you know, early in the year, it was a major concern, and we talk about blocking out, but we expect our guards to come and get in the fray. We need them down there. You know, we need them to come and clean it up, and you know, they're first of all, I mean, Kennedy's got a 6'7" wingspan, and Santi plays much bigger than his height, and Zakai's got just a hard, you know, I mean, think about how big it is. He'll go there and just get in the mix, but. It's a team. It's got to be a team effort. We need to do that. We've got to rebound, and we need to do it on both ends. I mean, Justin Powell had. We're kidding. He had the Moses Malone play tonight where he shot his own shot 3 times and came up with 6 rebounds. But the fact is, we can't be the team we want to be defensively if we don't clean it up, and we have to be a team on the offensive end that we're not one and done when we're playing the way we want to play.
Is there anything else for Coach? Okay, on the back. Mr. Carter.
How would you rate the play of Jonas and Brandon in the opening minutes today?
Do what?
How would you rate the play of Jonas
I think
and Brandon?
I do. I think they're both going to continue to help us. I think they both like Brandon is going to. I think the more he's out there, he's going to continue to learn. He's going to have to play off 2 feet and he's going to have to really use his body and put his body into people and not, you know, jumping away from it and throwing up shots that are really almost impossible for anybody to make. And I think Jonas is relaxed and does some things. And, you know, when we're in a game and they're coming back, you know, we have in our mind how we want to continue to rotate guys in, but when we get a 16-point lead and they start coming back, it changes all that because now you're fighting to try to keep them, to stop their momentum. And it's not fair at that point in time to probably put some of those guys out there and they keep coming, and it hasn't really not a lot to do with them where we've kind of opened the floodgates and you're afraid that you'll lose their confidence there. And I want those guys, and I think they know we're counting on them, and the more they play and the more that we can, we just can't be careless. They can't make careless mistakes. You know, Brandon's too good of a ball handler to throw the ball away. You know, he turned it over in there twice, but if he'll play off 2 feet and play with the thrust that he has, he can really become a force.
Hey, Coach, a more lighthearted question. When did you learn about the phrase pushing P, and why did you decide to start using it?
Well, Tom told me if I had to answer it, I should say that. What was your comment again? If I have to answer that, what was it, Tom?
If you got to ask, then you're not pushing.
If you got to ask, you're not pushing P. You know. But when I was asked about pushing P the first time, I said, "What is it talking about?" And really and truly, the person that was more dumbfounded than me was Kelly Harper, because when they asked me what I said, pushing. I said the P, you know. They said, no, it's just pushing P. And I got about 6 different answers on it. And then finally, I think, it wasn't, just said it's keeping pressure, keep playing. And I think that was Zakai or I don't even think Tom knew what it was, you know. But, yeah, just, I guess, keep pushing P, you know.
All right, let's finish up with Grant.
You guys remember that Kentucky game 3 weeks ago?
Do what?
I said, do you guys remember that Kentucky game?
Well, they certainly will. We're starting tomorrow, you know, because we'll come in and again, Kentucky played great. I said it and I'll say it again. They would have beaten anybody in the country. They were just phenomenal. As good a basketball game that's ever that we've coached against since I've been. I mean, they were phenomenal. They came out and hit us early, and then we gave them room to get out and run, and they. That basket was like had a magnet to it, and you can't take anything away from it because they did anything and everything they wanted to do, and I think they've improved since then too. I think we've improved, and there's a lot of mistakes that we made in that game that we certainly can't make again, or we'll get the same results.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you guys.